How many of you have heard the phrase, autism is a superpower? Me, I hear it all the time. I see it on social media. You see it on TV programs. My child's gifted and talented. They're 3 years old. I know all their times table. They can read fluently. They can't go to your standard comprehensive or mainstream school. They're just too talented for that sort of environment. And I'm not here to dismiss that at all. There are some people that are extremely talented and are on the autism spectrum. I think for me, with a child that has additional needs and struggles most of the time, me seeing that all the time can be uncomfortable. And again, it's not about guilt or shame. It's more about, okay, but where does my child fit into all of this? If society is constantly sort of calling autism a superpower, what happens to my child or children like my child who struggle daily, who are non-speaking, who struggle to communicate, and the only form of communication is the lashing out, the biting, the pinching, the pulling, the meltdowns, the just total frustration. Where does my child fit into society if we're just going to concentrate on the gifted and the talented? There could be challenges from not being able to eat, having sensory overloads. My son is particularly sensitive to noise. So, for example, if I wanted to take him to the zoo, the farm, like I did a couple of weeks ago, it's a challenge for me. And, sometimes in that moment, when you're looking after a child with additional needs, you do automatically think, oh gosh, this is painful for me, it hurts me. But actually, I think we should flip that around and recognize that it's also challenging for the child. I do have noise cancelling headphones for my son, but he can't tolerate that on his head. Even just to put a cap on his head when it's particularly sunny, the cap will just be on the floor. Nothing can go on his head. Even trying to wash his hair or to brush his hair is a problem, is a challenge. It's a daily challenge, it's a weekly challenge, and things that we may take for granted, I have to think twice or thrice about. Presenting him with different types of food or having to take him out for the day, I have to think, okay, where can I go where I might need to get some hot milk or at least some hot water so he can at least have his safe foods. I'm going to need to plan and make sure that I brought his juice, some snacks, things for him to play with. It's that constant worry and, the constant thinking. It's your child not being able to sleep. Yes, that's really, really detrimental to them, but for a parent and a carer who's, potentially used to getting maybe, I don't know, even 6 or 8 hours of sleep, going from that to something very minimal it's so taxing on your physical health. I can't even begin to explain to you. It's just like having a newborn baby in your life for the foreseeable. Trying to get them into a routine, a pattern. How can I make them sleep? What should I do? I don't necessarily want them on this drug. I don't want them taking this. I just want them to sleep. It's those kind of things that, I need to be at the forefront of these conversations regarding autism, because having a child that's gifted and talented, in my opinion, that can be managed to some extent. Having a child with daily challenges who can't articulate how they're feeling, can't communicate. Things annoy them, like, you know, they may put on like a top and the label annoys them, or the fabric they can't tolerate. The noise factor, you know, you may want to take them to like a soft play. Does that soft play have like a send hour, for example? And if they do have a send hour, can I book into that one slot that they may have a week? Is absolutely ridiculous, you know. How can I make sure that the environment is suitable for him? I don't want my son to fit societal's mold, but it can be extremely, extremely challenging. This is a side of autism that no one really talks about, but I encourage that conversation. Another thing that I don't really hear a lot of people talking about is how to explain to others that your child has difficulties. So, for example, I took my son out and someone just said hello to him, okay? Just something totally normal. Oh, just hello, how are you? And my son didn't give any eye contact. I don't even know if my son heard her because he was busy on his tablet, and she was saying to him, you know, oh, do you want a sticker? Do you want this? Because we were at a dental surgery for my other son. And it's that, oh gosh, do I have to go in and explain again that, you know, he's non-verbal? Yeah, he probably can hear you, but he's just focusing on that. And I don't really want to apologize, because what's there to apologize for? You know, it's just the things that I suppose the neurotypical parent or carer takes for granted is, again, what I want to bring to the forefront, that life is not all about top sets and awards and, you know, my child's brilliant. You know, I think we need to talk about the difficult conversations, the one where, you know, possibly a child can't cope in mainstream school, can't take any loud noises or materials or fabric on their skin, can't tolerate being in the bath or shower and having their hair washed or having their hair brushed, just little things like that. Can't process having to eat a meal. I mean, do you know how difficult that is, where you're cooking a meal for yourself or the rest of the family, and your autistic child cannot join in eating with you, you know? And I'm not saying that he doesn't eat, he does eat, but he eats maybe a handful of safe food. So it's always about making sure I have a copious supply of wheat bix. It's that serious in this household, whereby I can't let it get down to the last couple of wheat biscuits. You know, I have to buy in bulk. I have to buy biscuits in bulk. I have to buy his blackcurrant juice in bulk. You know, when we go out, we can't just leave the house. I have to make sure that everything is in his bag. It's the what ifs. It's, okay, if I go to that place, will they be able to provide for my son? Is it even worth the hassle of us going out? You know, is he going to have a meltdown? Is he just going to be so frustrated? You know what? I think it's better for us just to stay at home. And I really just want to plead for you, if this does ring a bell to anyone that's watching this, don't be afraid. Yes, you know, taking your child out does require additional planning. It really, really does. And I just liken it to just having a baby, like taking a newborn baby out. You have to plan, don't you? You have to make sure that their bag has everything that they need. Just liken it to that. Don't be afraid to go out. Don't be afraid that your child may have a meltdown. Because you know what? Actually, them experiencing the world, simple things like just going out to the park, going on the swings, you know, going to see some animals at the farm, a theme park, especially for, you know, young children. We have one not so far away from our local town. You know, yes, it's planning, but take them out. They deserve to be seen, and they deserve to experience the world as well. Don't be ashamed, and don't give up. And I recognize that there are challenges, absolutely. And the more that we have these types of discussions, the more that other people can understand exactly what our children go through. Now, you've seen all the hidden challenges, but I want to talk about something most parents struggle with, but rarely admit, and that is stimming. Now, in the next video, I'll share exactly how I dealt with my child's stimming and what you can do too. So click on the video that you see on the screen and I'll see you there.